Keeping your neighborhood free of disease-causing mosquitoes is for your own good and is also a social responsibility. Do not throw bottles, plastic boxes, tires, coconut shells, empty vessels, broken cisterns, or any other objects outside your home or workplace that can collect water and breed mosquitoes. Ensure the proper disposal and recycling of trash. Ensure that household waste is not dumped in drains. If water cannot be drained, use Temifos, a thin layer of oil or guppy fish to stop larvae development. Mosquito breeding grounds in public spaces such as hospitals, offices, and schools must be regularly monitored and eliminated.
There is a fire that rages in all of us, a deep desire to be the best that we can be, and sometimes that fire finds expression in words.
Who do you think you are? Angela Davis? Winnie Mandela?
Daddy, whether you like it or not, a new generation has arrived. We are here and we have come with a vision.
You sure is not television all you come with?
The Fire to Dance, a new exciting full-length drama, written and directed by Chris DeRiggs and presented by Heritage Theatre. Opening Saturday 16th September at Grenada Trade Center and running for 2 weekends, 7 p.m. nightly with a star-studded cast.
Come with me, Sophie. We have worlds to conquer.
Come out and feel the fire in The Fire to Dance, starting September 16th. Don't miss it. This ad is sponsored by the National Lotteries Authority, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Hello and welcome to the MTV Evening News for Monday, the 11th of September. The news headlines are coming to you in association with Quartz Grenada Limited.
Get ready, get set, and head down to Quartz and Quartz Optical now for Beat the Clock 4 days only. Wednesday the 13th to Saturday 16th of September. Rush down to Quartz and beat the clock for great offers. For Gold Busters to BOGO, employee pricing, with your discount and more. All on credit purchases, 24 months and over. It gets even sweeter with nothing down and nothing to pay until January 2024. That's right. Shop at Quartz from September 13th to the 16th and pay absolutely nothing down and nothing until January 2024. Get ready. Get set. Go down to Quartz and Quartz Optical. Quartz, bringing value home.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCour Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment. As you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest, visit or call LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Coming up in the news this evening, Vincentia National gunned down in Woburn. Grenada continues, meanwhile, to grapple with an increase in gun violence. U.S. Navy medical mission set to visit Grenada. And in sport, Pro basketballer says don't give up on your dreams. We'll have details to those and other stories. A look too at the public forecast information. It'll all be after the break. When we return, stay with us.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News comes to you compliments Nexa Credit Union. With you wherever your road leads.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever you road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next side, next side, next side, right next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Good evening, I'm Tony Julian with the details. Another fatal shooting within just about 2 days here in Grenada. Vicentia National Dexter Chance was gunned down in Woburn, St. George on Monday afternoon while in his vehicle. One eyewitness reported seeing two masked men dressed in black running through the streets of Woburn, after which he alerted officers at the South St. George Police Station. Another man also reported hearing gunshots ringing out in the area.
Well, I didn't go and see it, but I heard it. I was inside my van and I heard the 9 shots. Right? I heard the thing, so I think it's maybe, little children playing in a little caps thing. So it's like a day now, after a while, one lady was driving, come in the bakery. Tell me, look at, they shoot somebody down the road, down there. And so apparently, say, no, it's the guy that owned them was selling them vehicles on the top side of the road. Over the opposite Diane. You see they shoot up, you see some men like they walk, come there. I guess they stop in front of the van and wet it up. There's 9 shots. Shells all about on the ground there.
Shortly after the shooting, pictures circulating on social media showed what the bloody scene with Chance sitting in his vehicle looked like. We'll continue to follow this story and of course bring you updates once they're available. 4 children, meanwhile, are left fatherless after a weekend shooting in St. Paul's. MTV News spoke with the sister of the deceased on Sunday.
I miss most, I miss everything. They're my only brother. And I get the news, I come and meet him lying on the ground, dead. Sad for everybody. He have 4 children, 3 girls and 1 boy. Yes, and I see my sister. I could call him anytime. He come and he no matter where. If I outside, he doesn't sleep unless I come. He always asking, Chema, where God? God don't come yet. That is not the reason why, and it's no jokes related, nothing.
That was sister of the deceased as she grieves the loss of her brother. 38-year-old landscaper Troy Daniel, who is known by many as Ranking, was killed at around 8 p.m. on Saturday, close to his home in St. Paul's. Daniel's sister says she wants justice.
I know exactly who, and I just want to get justice.
A release from the Royal Grenada Police Force confirmed that police responded to reports of a shooting at St. Paul's, where they observed a male lying on the St. Paul's public road. Daniel was taken to the General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead by a medical practitioner. One man, whose name has not been released, is in police custody assisting with investigations. The recent gun violence is causing worry among Grenadians, with many calling for stiffer penalties and a more proactive approach from lawmakers. Speaking to the media on July 18th, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell expressed concern over the increased cases of gun crimes in Grenada.
The Port Authority, in particular, or Airport Authority, we have to ensure that we give them the necessary equipment that will allow for the screening of all cargo. Now, this is expensive and it will take some time, but we have to start. And I've said the Port Authority is on its way to procuring screening equipment that will allow it to screen barrels and so on in particular. Because the person who are smuggling guns are very creative. At the symposium in Trinidad, you would see examples of guns in conflicts, guns in flowers, guns in all kinds of means. So we have to ensure that our borders are protected, and at the ports of entry that we have the necessary screening equipment that would allow the screening of all cargo that's coming in.
MTV News will continue to follow this developing story and bring you updates as they become available. For MTV News, I am LaShawn Murray.
In another development, a team of medical personnel from the U.S. has returned to Grenada shores, and that's to offer support to the Ministry of Health by administering care at the General Hospital and in various communities over the next 2 weeks. Let's get the details on this from Troy Gill.
The U.S. Navy medical mission is returning to Grenada for 2 weeks, beginning on Tuesday. During its visit, the team will work alongside Grenadian medical personnel to provide care in community clinics to increase medical readiness, strengthen partnerships, and enhance the combined capabilities of the U.S. Navy and Grenadian officials to respond to public health disasters and humanitarian crises. Speaking on the Next Chapter television program hosted by Kevin Frederick, Medical Director at the General Hospital, Dr. Taisha Donald, highlighted some of the services that will be provided.
So we have a health fair carded for the 22nd of September, Friday the 22nd, and that will be at Progress Park, and I think that would be the largest event of the mission. And at that mission, we'll be doing like blood pressure screening. As we know, blood pressure problems is one of the leading causes of one of the leading NCD in the country, and we want to make sure that we screen persons for that. So community health team will be partnering with the U.S. Navy team in blood pressure screening, glaucoma screening, even eye screening as well. And at that health fair, we are also hoping to have little small groups of CPR training, because Grenada over the last couple of years we've had a significant increase in motor vehicular accidents, and learning how to stop the bleed, learning basic CPR is very important for our community in terms of what do you do first if you happen to be on site when there's an accident. How can you help, how can you assist in saving a life, because those first few minutes is so important.
Veterinary services will also be offered, Donald says, including training for veterinarians. Another component will include training for officials in environmental health.
We also would like, in terms of veterinary services, we have our vet team. They would be partnering with the U.S. Navy team as well in terms of training with handlers. So we have a few canine handlers in Grenada. So they would be partnering with one of the larger groups to do training with the handlers, to learn how to handle the canines and so on, to make sure that, we, again, sharing information, sharing experiences, and each one learning from the other. In terms of, we even have a training set up for food safety, all right, and that would be together with our environmental health team. So they will be doing a training of trainers in terms of food safety.
Principal Officer at the U.S. Embassy in Grenada, Frances Herrera, revealed the team from the U.S. Navy that will be visiting Grenada over the 2-week period, which include military personnel.
They're made up of civil service mariners who work for the U.S. Navy's Military Sea Lift Command, and they operate and navigate and maintain the USNS Burlington, the ship itself. You have the Navy medical personnel from various commands that make up the medical engagement team. U.S. Army soldiers make up the veterinarian element. U.S. Navy Seabees, as they're called, make up the engineering element. And finally, the band attachment that's coming from U.S. Fleet Forces Command.
The medical mission, which is sailing under the theme Continuing Promises 2023, made several visits to countries across the region, with Grenada being the last stop. For MTV News, Troy Gill.
One vendor from Vincent St. David is calling for more unity between street vendors in the town of St. George. Troy Daniels spoke with MTV News on Sunday.
In an interview with MTV News on Sunday, Daniel says he is concerned about the discord among street vendors in the town of St. George. According to him, there are constant quarrels among sellers for vending spots along the sidewalk, while others fail to clean their space.
A lot of the vendors, we don't unite. Every day we come in town is a quarrel for a spot on the sidewalk to vend. And some of them, when they're done vend, they're not keeping the sidewalk clean. You know, they won't sweep up. You know, some of them, they have their umbrella low, just over their table. Now, what I'm saying is that if the sun is hot on your goods, why put it out? Leave it covered on until the sun breaks. Because in St. George's, some of the buildings tall, it shade the sun from burning a lot of the vendor stuff. But some of them want to put up the umbrella low over their table.
Daniel explained that although some citizens have complained that sidewalk vending causes congestion in the town, he cannot see a better solution as there is limited space at the St. George's Market. He believes that the safest bet for vendors is to unite.
There's a lot of people who vending and there is not much place for us to vend. As you know, the government just recently opened the market, and the market don't have much space for everybody. So if a lot of people get moved off the sidewalk, they have to relocate us different places. You know, put us in areas like have some way set up for us to vend. That's how they have the market. Because I sure you have more than 300 vendors in the whole of St. George's vending on the sidewalk. Where you go put all that among the people?
Jacked up prices of local produce is also a worry for local vendors, and Daniel is appealing to the authorities to create more avenues for farmers to export their produce.
A lot of the people we buy stuff from, it's expensive. Like right now, like I selling coconut water today and I paying like $2 for coconut water now. When I used to pay $1.50, sometimes $1. And I still had to climb and pick it for myself. You know, and even the plastic bags, price gone up on it too. So the bags that we put in the skin up in and the cashew and the mangoes, the bags are expensive now. So one problem I have with all the governments that come in office, they always talking about boosting agriculture, and when they come, they start and they forget about it. They started with the mangoes. Now look how much avocados on right now. Plenty avocados just wasting. I going around and people giving me avocado for $1. Big avocado, I can sell one for $8, $5. But who buying it? Because neighbors giving neighbors some, and so much avocados that we can't get sale for it.
Street vendors are hoping that they will soon be granted permanent placement at an affordable cost. For MTV News, I am Lishan Murray.
Meanwhile, a drive through the city on Sunday afternoon revealed a slow business day for vendors. Two sellers shared their challenges with our news team.
Yeah, there's things is good and yeah, there's is bad, you know. But it's a real struggle out here. It's a struggle, and it's the gospel truth. The gospel truth. You understand? Because here times, I mean, in the oldies, I know I'll make a money, I could pay my bills, put aside something for my rent and pay my bills home. But it's really tough right now. But I'm not complaining because I've been a strong woman over the years, struggling out here, and how to handle.
Right now, a lot of things kind of scarce. So, well, when things scarce, the prices of the goods normally go higher. I guess if it have a price control, it will be easier. But then again, it had to do with the Ministry of Agriculture, where they could help the farmers in terms of lessening on the manure and such and such. Well, you could say cost of labor. If cost of labor is a little cheaper, then I guess as much the food price is going to be a little cheaper.
You're tuned into the evening news. This has been the first segment. We'll be back with more after the break.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News came to you in association with Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I'll never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Everyone wants money, don't you? The National Lotteries Authority's Lotto Jackpot is $186,000. Play today for chances at improving your life. Lotto. Play and win a lot of money.
with an Accel Back to School loan. Visit today or call us on 435-8222.
Ring, 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 back to school loan thing. Accel Finance help you joy of learning.
Your new Grenlec bill is even easier to read and still has all the valuable information you need to track and manage your usage.
Hey Mom, okay, your friendly tech support is here. So you got the new Grenlec bill? Let's take a look. The new bill makes it even easier to see your bill total, the due date, and much more. And take a closer look. It actually is a lot easier to understand. Let me show you. You can still see exactly what the charges are for, but in a great new format, it even shows how the cost of generating and delivering the electricity to you is calculated using your actual usage. And Mom, let Lucy know she can check out Grenlec's new Understanding Your Bill video. Anyway, look who says hi, and see you soon.
Your new Grenlec bill, easier to understand and easier to track your usage.
The second segment of the MTV Evening News comes to you in association with the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited.
Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited has the credit cards to suit your needs. Choose any one of our 3 Visa credit cards, Classic, Infinite, or Signature, and enjoy the affordability, security, and convenience they all offer. Get value for your money with Visa Reward Points. The more you spend, the more points you earn. Co-op Bank is giving you options. You have the choice. We've got the cards. Tailor-made just for you. Visit www.grenadacoopbank.com for more information or call or visit any one of our retail banking units.
Welcome home.
Welcome back. It's been a little over 2 weeks since the official release of the May-June 2023 CXC examination results, and the Ministry of Education has announced that it is still unable to release a comprehensive comparative analysis due to unavoidable delays. A release from the Ministry of Education states that although the results were accessible to individual students and educational institutions alike as of the 24th of August, that the ministry itself is unable to release a comprehensive analysis of the examinations at this time, pending receipt of the full results from CXC. Preliminary results show the performance pass rate for mathematics increased by 5.45%, and there's a 12.14% increased pass rate in English A. The subjects identified as having the highest percentage passes were theatre arts, physical education and sport, agricultural science, food, nutrition and health, industrial technology and electrical information technology and office administration, as well as technical drawing, family and resource management, and electronic document preparation and management. The subjects with the lowest percentage passes were mathematics, French, Spanish, geography, and additional math. The largest entries were in mathematics, English A, principles of business, social studies, and information technology, with the lowest entries in industrial technology, mechanical, music, theatre, arts, and religious education. Farmers and fisherfolk from St. Patrick participated in the first in a series of consultations to discuss the implementation of a fund that aims to address challenges that farmers face as a result of climate change and its impact on the agricultural sector. Troy Gill has more.
The Climate Smart and Rural Enterprise Program, or CIEP, the Ministry of Agriculture and other stakeholders hosted an adaptation fund consultation with members of the farming and fishing communities. One of the sessions was held at the Pavilion Plains, St. Patrick, where farmers were invited to discuss the concept, design, and plan of action for the implementation of the fund. Program Manager at CIEP, Dr. Stephen Fletcher, in a telephone interview on Monday, says the program intends to address the challenges farmers and fisherfolk face as it relates to climate change.
We are now upscaling to another climate responsive program. At the moment, it is called the adaptation program. Basically, it again relates to making changes, advising farmers and certainly the policymakers about what we should be doing as a country holistically in the agricultural sector to respond to fundamental changes that are occurring in the climate space. The climate is changing. It seems as though there is very little we can do, if anything, to reverse it. But what we can do, what we might be able to exercise some control over, is how we adapt to those changes.
The program will commence in 2025, he says, once the concept, design, and implementation phase are complete.
And we are now preparing for that program, which should start at the end of 2024, early 2025. The event today that we are participating in is part of the design of that program. At the moment, it's just called the adaptation program, but we are going to find a name for it, and localize it, we're going to brand it, and so forth. So what we are attempting to do now is to design the program in a way that benefits the farmers and the country overall.
According to Dr. Fletcher, Monday was the first of such consultations engaging farmers, fishers, and stakeholders in the agricultural sector, which is expected to continue in various parts of the country until the program's implementation. For MTV News, Troy Gill.
The application period for the Chevening scholarships to study in the UK that opens tomorrow, Tuesday, the 12th of September, right through to the 7th of November for the year 2024. Speaking more about this opportunity was Victor Clark, the British Commissioner, who said that this is a part of the United Kingdom's efforts to assist with developing the global community.
A initiative by the British government to use the fantastic resource that we have in the UK of some of the best universities in the world to help really with the development of the global community across the globe by offering up fully paid scholarships for one-year masters courses in the UK at UK universities to help use those resources to really make a positive impact globally.
He explained the selection process and the criteria.
Firstly, there are minimum requirements. So in order to apply, a student would have had to successfully completed an undergraduate degree. They also would have needed to have completed at least a minimum of 2 years worth of work experience, ideally connected to the specific area of expertise or area of study that they wish to undertake for the Masters in the United Kingdom. And then the selection process is firstly online.
Clark is encouraging students to apply early as the process is quite rigorous and includes writing a series of essays. He says that they are hoping that Grenadians take the opportunity to apply as it would focus on candidates who will be able to positively impact on their communities.
The main focus is on the candidates who we think are the most capable to have that positive impact. So it really is based on merit. There is no requirement for people to come from a disadvantaged background, but there is no restriction to that as well. So that is part of the reason that is fully funded, is because we want to ensure that those people from disadvantaged backgrounds have the same opportunity and the same access, but they will be competing against people from right across the economic spectrum.
The Chevening scholarships are fully funded and that it all includes living accommodations for the year. That's the second segment of the Evening Edition Monday here on MTV. We'll have more to come right after the break.
The second segment of the MTV Evening News came to you in association with the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited.
Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited has the credit cards to suit your needs. Choose any one of our 3 Visa credit cards, Classic, Infinite, or Signature, and enjoy the affordability, security, and convenience they all offer. Get value for your money with Visa Reward Points. The more you spend, the more points you earn. Co-op Bank is giving you options. You have the choice. We've got the cards, tailor-made just for you. Visit www.grenadacoopbank.com for more information or call or visit any one of our retail banking units.
Welcome home.
Do you know, when you play the games of the National Lotteries Authority, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique?
Hi, I am Junior Murray, cricket coach, sports enthusiast, and a former West Indies cricketer. I endorse the games of the NLA 100%. For the past 40 years, the NLA has been funding many sporting activities, including competition for schools and clubs, and for athletes to participate in overseas tournaments such as the Carifta Games and regional cricket tournaments. Additionally, they made it possible for you, the public, to view local, regional, and international tournaments from the comfort of your homes. For those reasons, I play the game of the NLA. Even if I do not win, I know Grenada always wins.
Yes, when you play all the games, the NLA in turn supports sports, culture, and nation-building activities throughout the Tri-Island state.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Dengue may lead to severe health consequences, so let's stop dengue with BLOCK Block. Break up hardened soil, lift and empty flower pot plates, overturn pails and wipe their rims, change water in vases, and keep roof gutters clear and place BTI insecticide. Together, we can stop dengue now. Start your Mozzie wipeout with BLOCK.
Let's get back to school with Dutch Lady. Spend $10 or more on Dutch Lady products, scan the QR code, enter your name, address, telephone number, receipt number, and place of purchase at any of our outlets. Or online to enter for a chance to win. Shop and voucher valued at $1,000 for school supply. Free internet for 3 months. Free private tutoring for 3 months. Promotion valid from September to October 2023. Terms and conditions apply. Visit participating outlets and get ready to win big with Dutch Lady. Dutch Lady, building stronger families.
The third segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Request, repay, repeat with Ariza's FlexiCredit Evergreen Loan Facility. Qualify for a FlexiCredit with limits up to $25,000 or use your home equity to qualify for more. Extra cash at your fingertips whenever you need it, accessed using your debit card and managed using AMI, Ariza's mobile internet experience app. FlexiCredit allows you the flexibility to top up to your approved limit any day, anytime. Already a member? Send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987. New members join today to apply. Request, repay, repeat. Use your FlexiCredit for vacations, shopping, wedding, general expenses, and more. Ariza loan terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Welcome back. In this week's edition of Business in 3, we hear from Kanisha Redhead, owner of Kenny's Naturals. She speaks about her products and how the GIDC assisted her business.
My name is Kanisha Redhead and I am the owner of Kenny's Naturals. Kenny's Naturals is split into 2 companies. I have the dog products, Skinnies, and I also have the products for humans. My products are based on a plant called neem. Neem is filled with antioxidants, antibacterial properties, antifungal properties, and it works amazingly for our skin, marks, eczema, psoriasis, anything like that. I also have products that will help you with your scalp if you suffer with dandruff or dry scalp. This practically eradicates everything. One of the things that Kenny's Naturals focus on is whatever comes off our bodies. So even when you're bathing your dog, whatever now entering our environment, it will not harm our environment. You can be confident that if you use any of my products, it is organic and as natural as possibly can be. A lot of what goes into here comes from my garden. So all my soaps, besides neem, moringa, hibiscus, it has cucumbers, it has aloe, lemons. These are things I just walk out my door and pick. So I know they're organic. These products are sold in mostly all the supermarkets, pharmacies, very reasonably priced and made in Grenada. My products that are made for our skin, we have the neem soap, which is amazing for acne scars. It smooths your skin. If you have oily skin, if you have dry skin, it doesn't matter what the problem is. It will balance your skin, even your skin tone. Then I also have a soap that combines neem, moringa, and hibiscus. Now, a lot of people do not understand the amazing properties of hibiscus, especially as we get older. It does the same thing with like neem and moringa, but with a little bump, in that it will now smooth your lines on your skin, below your eyes, you know, your texture, your skin feels softer. This would not have been possible without GIDC. I heard about GIDC and the incentives that they offer, and with a lot of the equipment that I need to produce all of this, as we all know, things coming in on the port, you have to pay your taxes, always pay your taxes. But as a small business, manufacturing, they were able to offer me incentives that would allow me to afford to bring the equipment in. My packaging, raw materials, everything I needed for my business. I would not have been able to afford to get to where I am now without GIDC. I have friends who have started little businesses at home, cottage industries, and I tell them, register your business, because you cannot just come to GIDC and ask for the incentive package. There is a process. Register your business, go to NIS, get your employer's number, go to the VAT office, get your VAT number. Things like that is what, when you come to GIDC, if you already have that, it makes the process so much smoother.
MTV Evening News Monday, regional highlights are next.
The third segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with Arise Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Request, repay, repeat with Ariza's FlexiCredit Evergreen Loan Facility. Qualify for a FlexiCredit with limits up to $25,000 or use your home equity to qualify for more. Extra cash at your fingertips whenever you need it, accessed using your debit card and managed using AMI, Ariza's mobile internet experience app. FlexiCredit allows you the flexibility to top up to your approved limit any day, anytime. Already a member? Send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987. New members join today to apply. Request, repay, repeat. Use your FlexiCredit for vacations, shopping, wedding, general expenses, and more. Ariza loan terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Welcome back. Let's now join Clifton James for this evening's regional roundup.
With the regional roundup, I am Clifton James. We begin in Trinidad and Tobago, where police said 22 people were arrested, ammunition and drugs seized during anti-crime exercises in the last 24 hours as part of Operation Blue Line. Officers also retrieved many stolen vehicles. In an update Sunday, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Force, TTPS, said exercises were carried out in the Eastern Division, where officers arrested 5 suspects for various offences, including possession of braking implements. 72 grams of marijuana were found and seized by officers of the Central Division Task Force. The drug has an estimated street value of $13,000. Meanwhile, officers of the Tunapuna charge room arrested and charged a 36-year-old man for marijuana possession and several traffic infractions, including driving without a certificate of insurance. Area East and West of North Central Division, NCD, officers conducted exercises between the hours of 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. on Saturday, September the 9th, 2023. During the exercises, a search warrant was executed and a man wanted by the Homicide Bureau of Investigation Region 1 was arrested in connection with a recent murder. This arrest brings to a total of 7 arrests made by the Homicide Bureau. Another man was also arrested and charged for possession of a stolen vehicle. The government of Jamaica says it has facilitated the safe return of a second group of 36 Haitian nationals who arrived in Portland on Saturday, September the 9th, 2023. According to a statement from the Office of the Director of Public Affairs and Communication, the Ministry of National Security took prompt action upon learning of the group's arrival. The Ministry of National Security became aware of the group's arrival and subsequently mobilized through the Jamaica Constabulary Force and Passport, Citizenship and Immigration Agency in partnership with the Ministry of Health and Wellness the necessary measures to see their safety and welfare needs. Following the completion of our immigration checks and security vetting, the group was denied entry. From the vetting process, it was found that there were members who had previously removed from Jamaica for breaches of entry, the release stated. The statement also mentioned that the government, along with its partners, continues to support a separate group of 37 Haitians who arrived in Jamaica on July the 10th, 2023, and subsequently applied for asylum. All of the students of the Eastern Caribbean who are currently studying in Morocco have been accounted for following Friday's devastating earthquake. This was confirmed by the Director General of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, Dr. Didacus Jules. In a statement, Jules said the embassies of Eastern Caribbean states to the Kingdom of Morocco have been in touch with all nationals in Morocco and has affirmed that none have been directly affected. Jules also expressed the concern and solidarity of the OECS Commission, indicating that Morocco has been a steadfast friend and ally of the OECS, and we wish the Kingdom a speedy recovery from this traumatic event. Meanwhile, OECS Chairman and Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Terence Drew, joined global leaders in sending condolences to the people of Morocco following the devastating earthquake. In a letter to King Mohammed VI, Drew said, "On behalf of the OECS Authority, please allow me to express our profound regret on this sad occurrence and please accept our heartfelt condolences on the tragic loss of life and to those who were injured, our wishes for a speedy recovery." At this time of great difficulty, the OECS Authority assures the government and people of the Kingdom of Morocco, and in particular the families of the victims, of its solidarity and prayerful considerations. The earthquake, which struck Morocco's high Atlas Mountains shortly before midnight, had a magnitude of 6.8. The provinces of Al-Haouz, Kwer Zadare, Marrakesh, Azilal and Chikawa and Taroudant were most affected. Over 2,000 people have died and over 1,400 people were injured. You're up to date with the Regional Roundup. I am Clifton James.
This is the MTV Evening News. We'll be back with you after the break.
The NLA is giving you more chances to multiply your Playway winnings by adding Multi-X to your regular Playway bets to win up to 5 times more. Imagine winning as much as $1,200 instead of $240 with a $10 Playway bet by simply adding Multi-X. Place your Playway bets from $1 to $10 or in increments on your favorite Playway symbols or numbers. Then add the multi-X option at the same value to win 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more, or free plays. With multi-X, you must bet the same amount wagered on your regular playway bets for your winnings to be multiplied. Grenadians, value your dreams and win your way as much as 5 times more. With multi-X added to playway and watch your money grow. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Get ready, get set, and head down to Quartz and Quartz Optical now for Beat the Clock 4 days only. Wednesday the 13th to Saturday 16th of September. Rush down to Quartz and beat the clock for great offers for door busters to BOGO employee pricing with your discount and more. All on credit purchases 24 months and over. It gets even sweeter with nothing down and nothing to pay until January 2024. That's right. Shop at Quartz from September 13th to the 16th and pay absolutely nothing down and nothing until January 2024. Get ready. Get set. Go down to Quartz and Quartz Optical. Quartz, bringing value home.
There is a fire that rages in all of us, a deep desire to be the best that we can be. And sometimes that fire finds expression in words.
Who do you think you are? Angela Davis? Winnie Mandela?
Daddy, whether you like it or not, a new generation has arrived. We are here and we have come with a vision.
You sure is not television all you come with?
The Fire to Dance, a new exciting full-length drama. Written and directed by Chris DeRiggs and presented by Heritage Theatre. Opening Saturday 16th September at Grenada Trade Center and running for 2 weekends. 7 p.m. nightly with a star-studded cast.
Come with me, Sophie. We have worlds to conquer.
Come out and feel the fire in the Fire to Dance, starting September 16th. Don't miss it. This ad is sponsored by the National Lotteries Authority, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Your new Grenlec bill is even easier to read and still has all the valuable information you need to track and manage your usage.
Hey mom, okay, your friendly tech support is here. So you got the new Grenlec bill? Let's take a look. The new bill makes it even easier to see your bill total, the due date, and much more. And take a closer look. It actually is a lot easier to understand. Let me show you. You can still see exactly what the charges are for, but in a great new format, it even shows how the cost of generating and delivering the electricity to you is calculated using your actual usage. And Mom, let Lucy know she can check out Grenlec's new Understanding Your Bill video. Anyway, look who says hi, and see you soon!
Your new Grenlec bill, easier to understand and easier to track your usage.
Pro basketballer says don't give up on your dreams. That highlight and more coming up in our sporting segment right after the break.
The MTV Evening Sports is brought to you in association with Quartz, bringing value home.
Get ready, get set, and head down to Quartz and Quartz Optical now for Beat the Clock 4 days only. Wednesday the 13th to Saturday 16th of September. Rush down to Quartz and beat the clock for great offers for door busters to BOGO employee pricing with your discount and more. All on credit purchases 24 months and over. It gets even sweeter with nothing down and nothing to pay until January 2024. That's right. Shop at Quartz from September 13th to the 16th and pay absolutely nothing down and nothing until January 2024. Get ready. Get set. Go down to Quartz and Quartz Optical. Quartz, bringing value home.
Special evening to you now, sporting fans. Let's join Donella Holston for this evening's sporting highlights.
Good evening, sporting fans. It was a hard-fought battle at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium as Grenada and Suriname shared the spoils with a 1-1 draw. In the 85th minute, Cedrel Lewis scored the goal for Grenada, and in the 87th minute, Mitchell Teverd scored the goal for Suriname. Here are some highlights of the match.
For the moment, Berkeley guy bombs through! Wide open on the back post! It's Lewis! Here in the 86th minute, hooking ball in, flicked along, cleared away. Shot comes in, and we have an equalizer! How about that?
During a telephone interview with Grenadian pro basketballer Kevin Cox, he spoke to MTV News about his journey in his career. Kevin's advice to young athletes and young business people is to not give up on their dreams.
Yeah, I was just going through a hard phase where, I was frustrated. When COVID hit, everything kind of like spiraled out of control for me. I just started making rushed decisions. I didn't know what to expect going forward, so I stopped playing basketball for a while. And I got off social media for a little bit because people know I'm so heavily involved with basketball. I've been getting a lot of questions asking me what I'm doing now, if I'm still playing ball, where am I hooping, and constantly keep seeing that same message every time from so many different people. I just decided to, separate myself from social media and just focus on me and deal with the problems that I had in front of me at the moment.
Kevin Cox is now signed to the St. Vincent Basketball Club for the 2023 to 2024 season. Barbados Royals finished the 2023 Massey Women's Premier League season as champions. The Barbados Royals made 169 for 7, while Guyana Amazon Warriors made 161 for 8 by 8 runs. After topping the group stage with 2 wins over the Warriors and 1 win and 1 loss over previous winners Trinbago Knight Riders, the Royals claimed the second ever WCPL title at Brian Lara Cricket Academy, Trinidad. After losing the toss and being put into bat for the first time, the Royals posted 169 for 7, with Captain Matthews finding a big score at the right time before being slowed down in the final few overs, keeping the Warriors in a hope of a result. In response, competition top scorer Sophie Devine could only manage a start before some tight bowling restricted the run rate required, leaving the Warriors short. Gabby Lewis got the Royals off to a firing start before falling side the power play. And that's it for this evening's sports. I am Donella Hostin.
Thank you, Donella, for the latest sporting highlights there. And viewers and listeners, when we return, we'll have the public forecast information for you and then a recap of the main stories.
The MTV Evening Sports was brought to you in association with Quartz, bringing value home.
MTV Weather Report comes to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
We all care for our community. We are strong. Together,
We are Grenada.
Good Monday evening, viewers. Back once again with the nighttime weather forecast. The meteorologist, Dwayne Williams. The hot and dry conditions continue throughout the Eastern Caribbean today as Hurricane Lee continues to dominate the weather north of the Caribbean islands. It is producing some very heavy waves on the northern coast of these islands, and we could be seeing some deterioration in the sea conditions on the west coast within the next 24 to 36 hours. Lee continues to move very slowly towards the northwest, and it is expected to impact the eastern shoreline of the U.S. within the next 2 or 3 days. We also have Margot, which continues as a storm again over cool waters, not expected to intensify as it moves off with a northward direction, which is expected to turn to the northeast. Both of these systems pose absolutely no threat to Grenada, Carriacou, or Petit Martinique. We still have a weak tropical wave heading towards the islands. There's some convection behind it, not showing signs of development. However, as this wave moves forward, it's going to encounter dry air left behind from Hurricane Lee, so intensification is not expected, even though we do have a bit of cloudiness ahead of it and in the intertropical convergence zone. So those dry conditions are expected to continue. Right now, we do have a small line of clouds, bit of low level patches of low level clouds, but these are very shallow. We do not expect any rainfall from them. If we do see anything, it will be very brief, very light. So those conditions are expected to continue for the next 24, 48 or even more. The forecast on Monday night, mostly clear skies. Winds would come in from the southeast between 5 and 15 miles per hour. Going to pick up more by tomorrow. Minimum temperature 24. Less than a 10% chance of rain. The moon is set this afternoon at 4:14. It's going to rise tomorrow morning at 3:59. On Tuesday, sunny and hot conditions would continue. Southeasterly winds between 8 and 80 miles per hour, increasing in strength into the afternoon. Again, less than a 10% chance of rain. Seas expected to become moderate to choppy, especially on the west coast. 5 to 6 foot waves in open waters. The sun is going to rise at 5:56 and disappear at 6:12. Another hot day, 33, will feel like 38. Sunny and hot also in Port of Spain and Bridgetown. Some isolated showers in Kingston. Partly cloudy skies are in store for Miami and New York. London is in for light rain. From midweek through to the weekend, sunny and hot conditions are expected to continue. Possibility of a slight increase in cloudiness by Saturday, Sunday. As Lee moves out, we're going to see winds picking up a bit, but over the week, during the weekend, we do expect some light winds that would of course make it feel a bit hotter. So let's keep our eyes and see if that is going to materialize. That is it for me for tonight, folks. Have yourself a great night. Join me again on Tuesday.
MTV Weather Report was brought to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
And now to end the news, a recap of the headlines. Vicentia National gunned down in Woburn. Grenada continues, meanwhile, to grapple with an increase in gun violence. The U.S. Navy medical mission is set to visit Grenada. And in sport, a pro basketballer has said, "Don't give up on your dreams." We've had details to those and other stories. A look too at the public forecast information. It's all been a part of the Evening Edition Monday right here on MTV. I'm Tony Julian, along with the rest of the news team, especially from the production and technical departments. And we all thank you for having tuned in and wish you a good night.
Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Teresa Algerina Dorcas Mason, also known as Granny and May, of Loretto St. John, passed away on Saturday 19th August 2023 at the age of 91. She was the mother of 13, including Agatha Watley, Gladys Lewis, Vida Roberts, Patrice, Veronica, Eileen, Sandra, Agnes, Sheila, and Michael Mason. Grandmother of 30, including Deborah Phillip, Samuel James, Gerald Julius, Ronisha Lewis, Jihad Roberts, Marsha Benjamin, Vida Kwashi, Kellen, Cara Mason, and Dr. Joseph Mason. Great-grandmother of 34, including Tiwa Andrew, Dania Phillip, Amoy Rowe, Makita Nicholas, and Aria Mason. Great-great-grandmother of 3, including Jaden. Sister of Petrolia Ferreria. Aunt of many, including Shaggy Duncan, Alicia Peters, Tessa Lewis, Dawnette Samuel, Samantha Alexander, Michael, Alban and Valerie Mason, and Cynthia Graham. Mother-in-law of Rodney Lewis and Alfred Watley. Many cousins, other relatives and close friends, including Peter Andrews, the Alexis family of Florida, the Mason family of St. Andrew, the Walker family of Grove, Patrice John and family, Pastor Willen Hamilton and family, Wayne Thomas and family, Lauriston, Cletus Louison, Janny Holder, the Anglican Mothers Union, and friends and neighbors of Loretto, Market Square, and Central Grove Estate and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Teresa Algerina Dorcas Mason, also known as Granny and May, of Loretto St. John, will take place on Tuesday, September 12th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Grove Anglican Church, and entombment will be at the Douglaston Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Crofton Alston Dominic St. Louis of Satyr St. Patrick, who resided at Westerhall St. David and in England, passed away on Sunday, August 13th, 2023, at the age of 83. He was the father of Jean and Jeffrey St. Louis and Jaden Dawson, grandfather of Jeremy St. Louis and Emmanuel Manny St. Louis, great-grandfather of Myla and Casey St. Louis, uncle of many in Canada, the USA, and Zambia, brother-in-law of Ryan Gibbon, Carlton Mark, Cynthia Sony, Patricia Sony, Claudia Mark Sony, Brenda Gibbon, Joy and Junior Sony. Other relatives and friends including Selma St. Louis Beggs and family, the St. Louis and Sony families of St. Andrew, Finsley St. Louis and family, the Fleming family of St. David, Chester Humphrey and family, Miss Catherine Felix, Brian Pivot and family, Dennis Bartholomew, Dion David, Ashton Robinson, Wilbur Barito, Winston Robinson, Michael Joseph, and friends and neighbors of Westerhall St. David and St. Patrick, and family, friends, and neighbors in England. The funeral of the late Crofton Alston Dominic St. Louis of Satyr St. Patrick who resided at Westerhall, St. David and in England, will take place on Wednesday, September 13th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Patrick Catholic Church, Saters, and interment will be at the Churchyard Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Charmaine Nicole Penny of Boca St. George, who resided in Trinidad, passed away on Tuesday, 22nd August 2023 in Trinidad at the age of 49. She was the daughter of Diane Penny and Milton Ross, mother of Cameron and Kerem Penny in Grenada and Anthony Marks in Trinidad, sister of Sean and Bessie Ann Penny in the USA, Kitlin, Dwayne, Kerry and Shakiria Penny in Grenada, Jermaine, Jeff and Jefferson Ross in Trinidad, aunt of Shanique and Anthony Penny, Dante, Sophia and DeAndre Penny and Ariana Ross, grand aunt of Kamari, niece of Narissa Sylvester, Claudia Penny, Judy Ann Cromwell, Joshua and Jude Gary, Glennis, Yvonne, Bernadette Bartholomew, Christopher Penny, Norris, Everest, Dominic, also known as Mice, and Augustine Sylvester in Trinidad, stepdaughter of George Alfred and Monica Ross, goddaughter of Claudia Simon. Other relatives and close friends in the USA and Trinidad, including Dowlin Penny and family, Lynette Penny and family, Matthew I. True Alfred, Dean James in the USA, Rosalind Barris, Pastor Clyde and family, the Penny and Ross families of Boca, Bolio and Vendam, the Bartholomew and Thomas families of Vendam, and friends and neighbors of Montu, Boca and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Charmaine Nicole Penny of Boca St. George, who resided in Trinidad, will take place on Wednesday, September 13th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Vendam New Life Chapel, and interment will be at the Family Cemetery, Boca. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Rose Mark Nee Mitchell of Top Hill, Carriacou, who resided in the UK, passed away on Monday, 19th June in the UK at the age of 84. She was a mother of Rona, Jackie, Mary, Nicholas, Joseph, and Patrick Mark, grandmother of 17, great-grandmother of 16, sister of Dr. Aunt Dudu, mother-in-law of Patty Bino Mark, sister-in-law of Claire Mark, aunt of many too numerous to mention. Many other relatives and close friends including Mark and Mitchell families, friends and neighbors of Top Hill, Mount Royal, and the UK and surrounding areas to numerous to mention. The funeral of the late Rose Mark Nee Mitchell of Top Hill, Carriacou, who resided in the UK, will take place on Wednesday, 13th September at 12 noon. Funeral service will be held at the St. Patrick's Roman Catholic Church, Hillsborough, Carriacou, and entombment will be at the Brunswick Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
John Chesterfield Marast of Upper St. John St. Andrew, who resided at Springs St. George, passed away on Sunday, August 13th, 2023, at the age of 76. He was the husband of Claudette Marast née Holder, father of Michael, Stephen, Liza, Cinder, Claudette, and Kimberly, grandfather of 3, brother of Crispin, Phyllis, Millie, and Criselda, uncle of many including Claudia, Jude, Neslin, Desmond, Alan, Marlon, Samantha, Bernard, Wayne, and James, brother-in-law of Quinny, Teresa, and Boo Day, many cousins and other relatives including Mondella Lord and family, the Hagley family, Alston Cipher Pope and family, Thomas Alexis, Liz Telesford and family, Gregory Bowen, Cordell, Ennis, Marlon, Pansy Batson, Martha, Dr. Andrew Hamlet, Deanne, the Holder, Marast, Vincent, and Hines families, and friends and neighbors of Upper St. John St. Andrew and Springs St. George. The funeral of the late John Chesterfield Marast of Upper St. John St. Andrew, who resided at Springs St. George, will take place on Wednesday, September 13th at 1:30 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Blessed Sacrament Catholic Church, Grandon, St. George, and interment will be at the Wilberforce Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Alistair Jerome McEwen, also known as Movie, of Brooklyn, Concord, St. John, died on Wednesday, 23rd August 2023, at the age of 67. He was the son of Bella McEwen, father of Ziki, Ezekiel, and Zico Peters, grandfather of Zara and Zahara Frederick, brother of Sylvia Redhead, Kelvin and Diane McEwen in Grenada, Egbert McEwen in the USA, Logan McEwen in Canada, and Patrice in England, brother-in-law of Verna McEwen, nephew of Mary of Darbo, uncle of many including Rondell, Kizzy, Kishon, Sherlyn, Cuthbert, Jermail and Shellyanne in the USA, and Shantae in Canada. Many cousins, other relatives and friends including Valerie and family, Olive and family, Ursula Gibbs and family, Bernadette and family, Kenneth Bernard and family, Gemma Holder and family, Fabian, Glenn, David, Rona, Agatha, Christine, Louise Granger in the USA, Kathy Ann, Hippolyte, the regular men at Samaru and Fraud's Bar, Jennifer in the USA, the McEwen family of Brooklyn, Woodford, Concord, and Grand Roy, and friends and neighbors of Brooklyn, Concord, and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Alistair Jerome McEwen, also known as Movie, of Brooklyn, Concord, St. John, will take place on Thursday, September 14th at 2 p.m. Funeral service and interment will be held at the Power Park Cemetery, St. John. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Mary Teresa Henry Lett of Birchgrove St. Andrew, who resided at Lamode St. George, and Vincent St. David, passed away on Monday, 14th August, at the age of 75. She was the wife of Michael Lett, mother of Elizabeth Henry Telesford, Debbie, Donna, Derek, and Devon Henry, Oisa, Jesse, and Malon, grandmother of 25 in Grenada, Trinidad, Canada, and the USA, great-grandmother of 15, sister of Tony Henry in the USA, Catherine Henry Adams in Trinidad, Bernice Henry Alexander in Venezuela, Paul, Ennis, and Kelly Henry in Grenada, mother-in-law of Ralph Telesford, Dennis Abraham, Kenton Patterson, Karen and Beverly Henry, sister-in-law of Betty Henry, Albert Adams, Alan Alexander, Catherine and Quinette Henry, Charmaine and Dessa Malette. Many nieces and nephews of Upper Capital, Birchgrove, Trinidad, the USA, Venezuela, and England. Godmother of many. Caregivers of grandkids. Many other relatives and friends including Anisita and family, Honorable Philip Telesford, Ben and family, Lena Gray and family, the Victor, Lett and Telesford families, Miss Marrast and family, Jeffrey Bain, pastor and members of Springs Open Bible Church, friends and neighbors of Birchgrove, Lamode, and Vincent's. The funeral of the late Mary Teresa Henry Lett of Birchgrove St. Andrew, who resided at Lamode, St. George, and Vincent St. David, will take place on Friday, 14th September at 1 p.m. The funeral service will be held at the St. Matthew's Roman Catholic Church, Birchgrove St. Andrew, and the interment will be at the St. Rose Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to the Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home.
Vondel Joyce Vander Catherine Cyrus, also known as Vondel Cyrus George and Page, of Latast, who resided at Lamode St. Patrick, retired worker with the government of Grenada, attached to the Ministry of Housing, passed away on Sunday, 13th August 2023, at the age of 67. She was the wife of Winston George, better known as Floor, retired Sergeant of Police, mother of Rhonda, Andrea, better known as Blanche, and Andre, better known as Sheldon or Doggy in the UK, Krisha, Sheena in the USA, and Rhea, stepmother of Carl in the USA, Cindy and Yulene, grandmother of Kayla Marcel, Omari, Gianna and Keziah Schoon, Jaden, Ashron, Iona and Isla, Ocean and Oshel, sister of Henville Sylvester, Robbie and Christiana Noel in Grenada, Willen Cyrus, Densley Charles and Debbie in the UK, Glenn Jones, Nixon Charles, Bernadette Jones, better known as Glenda, Catherine Donaldson, better known as Joan Buxo, Hilda Charles and Nadia in the USA, sister-in-law of Jackie Charles in the UK, Trevor Donaldson, Denise Logie and Glenda Louisa Charles in the USA, Gloria Millard in Grenada, Joan George Pear, and Violet Alexis in Trinidad. Aunt of Kemlin, Shari, Greg, Trinda, Carinda, Elisha, Robert and Claire, Portia, Carrie Ann, and Kennedy, better known as Ken. Mother-in-law of Leon Nelson, better known as Willa in Grenada, Stephanie Cyrus in the UK, and Eddie George in the USA. Aunt-in-law of Johnson in the UK, Dale in Canada, Desmond, Craig, Beverly, Ulysses in the USA, Clive, Hensley and Alice in Trinidad, and Rondell in Grenada. Many cousins, other relatives and close friends, including Flora Lawrence and family, Miss Hostin and family, Patrice Charles and family, Mr. and Mrs. Tillman Thomas, Mr. and Mrs. Patrick Charles in the USA, the Garrett, Leslie and Belfort families of Latost, the Charles and Francois families of Riversally and Lapo Tree, the Gary family of Lamode, Wendy Mark in the USA, Elizabeth Forsyth, principal of First Choice Junior School, Grenada, past and present staff at the Ministry of Housing, past and present staff at Georgie's Security Services, the Cyrus and Sinclair families throughout Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique in the UK, the USA, Canada and Trinidad, and friends and neighbours of Latost and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Vondel Joyce Vanda Catherine Cyrus, also known as Vondel Cyrus George and Page, of Latost, who resided at Lamode St. Patrick, will take place on Thursday, 14th September at 12 noon. Funeral service will be held at the Mount Rose Seventh-day Adventist Church, and interment will be at the Riversally Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment as you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest. Visit or call Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Derek Ivan John, also known as DJ of Mongelou St. George, retired superintendent of His Majesty's prisons, passed away on Monday 28th August 2023 at the age of 65. He was the husband of Joyce John, father of Crystal Peters Nugent in the USA and Melinda, son of Agnes John, grandfather of Chiron Jr., brother of Gillian John, Trevor Aberdeen in Trinidad, and Dexter John in the USA, father-in-law of Marcus Nugent in the USA, uncle of Wendale, Sheba, Tristan, Kendale, Jolene, Nia, Genevieve, Tahila, Zane, Kwame, Zoda, and Nicholson Cooper, nephew of Janice Benoit, Dorothy Bishop in the USA, and Muriel in Trinidad, brother-in-law of Matilda in Trinidad, Michelle, Gloria, Denise, Carol, Brensley, Sharon, Elliot, Angus, Joycelyn, and Hermione, nephew-in-law of Julie Williams, uncle-in-law of Janelle, Shaquille, Garfield, Kellon, Junior, Avalon, Kia, and Jamal. Other relatives and friends including Sergeant Patrick Thomas, Aria Worm, Jerry Thomas, Ernest Bruno, Jack, Matthew, Jacinta Cummings, Floretta Samuel, Kenny, Erica and Gemma, the Hall, Worm, John, Grimes and Lewis families, the Commissioner and staff of His Majesty's prisons, the staff of IHS Dialysis Clinic, and friends and neighbours of Mongelou, Richmond Hill, Brooklyn, Trinidad, and in the USA. The funeral of the late Derek Ivan John, also known as DJ of Mongelou St. George, will take place on Friday, 15th September at 12 noon. Funeral service will be held at the St. George's Anglican Church, Church Street, St. George's, and entombment will be at the Monjaloo Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Kendall Botas of Lamode, St. George, passed away on Sunday, September 3rd, 2023, at the age of 63. The funeral arrangements for the late Kendall Botas of Lamode, St. George will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Matthew Martin Samuel Pear, also known as Zappy, of Pedmotar, St. David, passed away on Tuesday, September 5th, 2023, at the age of 42. The funeral arrangements for the late Matthew Martin Samuel Pear, also known as Zappy, of Pedmotar, St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Lynn Lowe of Ladigue, St. Andrew, who resided in Connecticut, USA, died on Tuesday, 29th August 2023, at the age of 62. The funeral arrangements for the late Lynn Lowe of Ladigue, St. Andrew, who resided in Connecticut, USA, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Francis Graves White, also known as Smallhead of Sater St. Patrick, who resided at Resource St. Mark, passed away on Thursday, September 7th, 2023, at the age of 71. The funeral arrangements for the late Francis Graves White, also known as Smallhead, of Sater St. Patrick, who resided at Resource St. Mark, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Bernadette Mary Williams, also known as Bern and Bernie, of Beaton St. David, who resided in Brooklyn, New York, USA, departed this life on Tuesday, September 5th, 2023, at the age of 61. The funeral arrangements for the late Bernadette Mary Williams, also known as Bern and Bernie, of Beaton St. David, who resided in Brooklyn, New York, USA, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Destiny Married Vincent, also known as Desu, of Dunfermline St. Andrew, passed away on Sunday, September 3rd, 2023, at the age of 10. The funeral arrangements for the late Destiny Married Vincent, also known as Desu, of Dunfermline St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Ada Veronica Joseph of Munich St. Andrew passed away on Monday, 28th August 2023, at the age of 96. The funeral arrangements for the late Ada Veronica Joseph of Munich St. Andrew will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Carson Albert Louison, also known as Papa Carson, Grandpa, Brother Carson, and Mr. Louison of Black Bay St. John, who resided at Grandin St. George, the US and Trinidad, passed away on Sunday, 20th August, at the age of 86. The funeral arrangements of the late Carson Albert Louison, also known as Papa Carson, Grandpa, Brother Carson, and Mr. Louison of Black Bay St. John, who resided at Grandin St. George, the US and Trinidad, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Teresa Antoine, also known as Cooley of Central Guava State St. John, who resided in Montreal, Canada, passed away on Wednesday, 23rd August, at the age of 59. The funeral arrangement of the late Teresa Antoine, also known as Cooley of Central Guava State St. John, who resided in Montreal, Canada, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Shamel Alexis of Syracuse St. David, who resided at Mount Kumar St. George, passed away on Monday, 21st August 2023, at the age of 33. The funeral arrangements for the late Shamel Alexis of Syracuse St. David, who resided at Mount Kumar St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
In loving memory of Raquel Biama Etienne Ne Bartholomew of Montaigne St. George, who passed away on September 7, 2022 at the age of 41. You never said I'm leaving, you never said goodbye. You were gone before we knew it, and only God knew why. A million times we needed you, a million times we cried. If love alone could have saved you, you never would have died. In life we loved you dearly, in death we love you still. In our heart you hold a place that no one could ever fill. It broke our hearts to lose you, but you didn't go alone. For part of us went with you the day God took you home. We acknowledge the support given by Margaret Peters Gomez and family, Judith Nichols, Darren Edwards, Bertilda Superville, David Bean, Noreen Radix, David, Daniel, Kendall and Valerie Williams, Veronica Cadeau, Ina Bartholomew, Hazel Jackson and family, Antonia and Dudley and Twine, all other friends and families too numerous to mention. The funeral arrangements were entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Marjorie Noel Lamoth of St. Peter Street, Grove, St. John, passed away on September 11th, 2022. It's 1 year ago since you left us. Your life was a blessing, your memory a treasure. You are loved beyond words and missed beyond measure. Our hearts still ache in sadness and secret tears still flow. What it means to lose you, no one will ever know. We miss you, and you will forever be in our hearts. Rest in God's loving care. Arrangements were entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on. Thank you for watching.
I'm Pastor Jerry Keynes Douglas, and I'd like to take the opportunity today to express my deepest sympathy